Right, so Mr. Seebohm Rowntree and Mr. Charles Booth, or as it turns out, Mr. Benjamin Seebohm Rowntree and Mr. Charles Booth. Logic right there, everybody. Two social reformers investigating York and London respectively. Mr. Seebohm Rowntree, or as it turns out, Mr. Benjamin Seebohm Rowntree, was a philanthropist, meaning that he cared about the welfare of others and gave to charity and encouraged other people to do likewise. Was an owner of a sweets and chocolate venture, oddly enough called Rowntree, who decided to investigate the poverty in York. He quickly discovered that people were not necessarily poor because they were lazy or they hadn't done enough, but they were poor because life had just been like, mate, I'm sorry, but you're going to be poor. They're going to be rich, you're going to be poor. Literally, they had like no choice in it. And the two biggest causes he found out of this were having big families and having low wages, neither of which are really controllable. Big families, you might say, is, but they didn't have contraception. So if that baby was born, and that was it. So he decided to represent this in his novel called Poverty with a poverty line, a literal, like physical, you could draw it, a line. That line was £1 a week. If you earned less than £1 a week, you couldn't support yourself. You couldn't do it. It just wouldn't work. You couldn't afford what you needed to live. You might survive, but you wouldn't be living a normal life, or a good life, you could say. You might say if you're above the poverty line, you're fine, but if you're close to that line, you're probably you're not doing so well for yourself. Charles Booth, a businessman, decided to do pretty much the same thing in London, so you might think it'd be much worse, but it's actually pretty much identical to York, although it was of course worse because it's London. And he found that it was very similar to York. People were spending a lot of money on necessities because they needed them, things they needed. They weren't spending money on things they didn't need, it was just the fact that they were poor because they had no choice. Both of them published novels, lots of people read them, including some very, very important people, and that eventually brought about reforms. It was not the only thing that brought about reforms, but it certainly contributed to it.